those afternoon thunderstorms. They're already seeing it this morning, and they're going to continue to see those heavier downpours. I think Los Angeles and San Diego really going to get in on the action late tonight and through the day tomorrow, when the heaviest rain will likely fall from Hillary as it makes its way north, and the remnants of it eventually affects us, especially over the higher elevations. We'll get to that in just a moment. First, we're starting out with those scattered clouds over downtown Sacramento. It's a pretty start, and it's very comfortable. It's going to be a warmer day today compared to yesterday. 64 degrees, a light breeze coming in from the coast at 4 miles per hour. And you'll see we'll warm through the 70s and 80s this morning. Likely get into the lower 90s by 1 p.m. and top out in the mid and upper 90s this afternoon. A very warm day ahead of us, and expect those afternoon storms like we saw yesterday in the high country. But the effects from Hillary will likely be felt mainly in the Sierra and mainly by Sunday night, early Monday. So overnight, a steadier rain is going to impact the Sierra, and the rain will taper as it goes down the west slope and into the valley, where the valley might not pick up much at all. But maybe a half inch to nearly an inch of rain may fall around Tahoe from the storm, but severe flooding is expected in Southern California. That is the big headline with this powerful storm. It is still about 200 miles plus off the coast of the Cabo Peninsula, and it will work its way north throughout the day today and eventually make landfall into tonight and early tomorrow. But out ahead of it, there's a lot of moisture already and a lot of rain falling already in the deserts of Southern California. So the inland areas away from Los Angeles, which could see an inch or two of rain, might see 4 to 8 inches of rain, and that would be tremendous for the desert areas there. So places like Palm Springs, they could have some serious issues from all of this rain. Now, as you work your way north along the Sierra and to the east of us into Nevada, a couple of inches of rain may fall there. Right on the line here, the state line of California into Nevada, we might get that inch of rain or a little lower. And then as you work your way down the west slope, maybe a quarter of an inch to a half inch. And then the rest of Northern California has the chance of seeing some rain, but likely less than a quarter of an inch. So here's Futurecast. Again, the rest of today, we're mostly sunny in the valley. We'll find those pop-up isolated storms in the high country right along the crest and the east side. But notice what happens tonight. We even get a little surge of moisture way out ahead of Hillary going into tonight. So there might be some light rain tomorrow morning around Tahoe, but it'll give way to a relative lull during the day tomorrow. Now, as tomorrow afternoon over the valley, again, we're just partly cloudy. The rain that's going to be steadiest over the Sierra will come in Sunday evening and linger overnight until very early Monday, but then it pushes away. And what we're left with is maybe scattered showers into the day on Monday, especially over the higher terrain. So for today, prepare for a couple of storms around Tahoe, probably dry even in Pollock Pines and Arnold. You'll be in the 80s this afternoon. The foothills, it'll be dry, warm, and relatively sunny. Jackson going to a high of 94 today, about 90 in Grass Valley. The coast will be seeing temperatures near 70, some low clouds early, then sunshine. Fairfield, a high of 93 today, also about 93 in Concord. San Joaquin Valley, warmer than yesterday. We're going to range in the mid, maybe even upper 90s, about 98 in Stockton today, 95 in Tracy, and a warm afternoon on the way for Sacramento with a high of 98. We're in the upper 90s around Roseville and Yuba City as well. 7-day forecast shows we're in and out of clouds tomorrow. It's not quite as warm, low to mid 90s, and then Monday is cooler with that slight chance of a shower mainly in the morning. And then the rest of the week does look dry. It does warm up back into the upper 90s by Wednesday and Thursday. But by the time we're on the air tomorrow morning, Leticia, Hillary's really going to start to make its way into Southern California. We're going to be talking about some big time rain, a problem there.
Wow, this is incredible. We don't often hear about this.
Not at all. I haven't covered one here in my almost 20 years.
I know. We hear about them in Cabo all of the time, but they don't quite make the way to Southern California. We'll wait and see. Hopefully everyone stays safe. Up next, preparing for the Soul Bloom Festival in the